I'm Paul Pogba.
Paul Pogba, a player who was so good that at one moment he was considered as one of the best midfielders in the world. But now whenever his name comes up on the social media or the news, it's all about injuries and some massive controversies. Whether it's about extortion, kidnapping, black magic or the very recent and probably the worst of all, doping. तो सबसे बड़ा सवाल यही उठता है कि आखिर ये सब हुआ क्यों? How did a player who won Golden Ball in 2013, Young Player of Tournament in the World Cup 2014, and of course named in the FIFA World 11 2015, dipped so low that he barely plays anymore? Well, let's take a look at the rise and fall of Paul Pogba. Just a reminder, if you're watching this channel for the very first time, please subscribe the channel, and now let's get down to the video. Born on 15 March 1993 in the eastern part of Paris, Pogba fell in love with football at very young age. However, he grew up in a very poor neighborhood with frequent gang violence and substance use. Pogba saw football not as an hobby but an opportunity to make something better of himself. So at just 6 years of age, Pogba started his career at a club called US Rossi and spent 7 years before joining US Torcy, where he was so good that within 1 year he got his professional contract from La Havre. At this moment, Pogba started showing his true potential and started making some noise. So much that big clubs like Arsenal, Juventus and Manchester United were keen to sign him, और ऐसा हुआ भी. In 2009, Pogba joined the youth academy of Manchester United. And within just 2 years, he was promoted to the first team by legendary Sir Alex Ferguson. Then in September 2011, Pogba made his debut against Leeds United as a substitute and he played 7 more games throughout the season. Now at this moment, everything seems to be going alright for Paul Pogba. He made his professional debut and was seen as the brightest talent in the world of football. However, there was one big problem. You see, despite United's golden generation was getting old, Pogba was still not getting the enough game time. Throughout his 7 appearances in 2011-2012 season, Pogba played 225 minutes and didn't start it even once. So when Pogba tried to complain, it led to a fallout with Sir Alex Ferguson. And since it was the last year of his contract, he decided to leave the club.
Disappointing, Paul Pogba, there's no question about that. I think he showed a lack of respect to the club. But he's made his decision, and although we always felt that was going to be the case, he never really indicated until we left. So it's disappointing that.
August 2012, the day Pogba joined Juventus. और हमें पता है उसके बाद क्या हुआ. This is the place where Pogba became the Paul Pogba, young, hungry and desperate to prove a point. During his first season at that legendary Juventus team, he managed to play 37 games. As a result, Pogba was called out to be the captain of France national team in the 2013 Under-20 World Cup, where he outperformed everyone and helped France to win the tournament, which also led him winning 2013's Golden Boy Award. So basically, Pogba went from bench warmer at Manchester United to winning Golden Boy Award in just 1 year. That is crazy. See, at Juventus, Pogba used to play as center midfielder at the left half of the field. But unlike a traditional center mid, he was more of a attack minded. And since he was playing with some of the greats of the game, Pogba was able to not only learn, but he also got the freedom that he needed to grow. Then in 2014, Pogba was named into the World Cup squad of France and he did not disappoint, as he was named as Young Player of the Tournament. वहीं दूसरी ओर Pogba kept on producing man of the match performances in the Serie A. As a result, he became a key player for Juventus. During his 4 years at Juventus, he made 174 appearances, given 40 assists and scored 34 goals. In terms of trophies, he won 4 Serie A titles, 2 Coppa Italia, 3 Super Coppa Italiano and Champions League final against prime Barcelona in 2015. And after considering his all the performances throughout the year, FIFA Pro 11 included him alongside Modric and Iniesta. Now at this point, despite being just 22 years old, he was a brand. With millions of fans copying his hairstyle and his celebrations, Paul Pogba had the world at his feet. August 2016, when Manchester United re-signed Paul Pogba for 105 million euros. The same old league, the same old fans and the same old club. Paul Pogba was back to Manchester United. However, this time because of the price tag, the pressure was relatively high. During his first season, Manchester United managed to win the League Cup and the Europa League with Paul Pogba scoring 2 goals against Ajax in the final. Then in the second season, Pogba made 37 appearances, had 6 goals and 12 assists to his name, which was pretty decent in my opinion. So except some bad games and injuries, to be fair, Paul Pogba ने hype को match कर लिया था. Then fast forward to 2018 World Cup, where Pogba gave some unbelievable performances and helped France to become the world champions. Then he continued his form with Manchester United, where he scored 16 goals and gave 11 assists in 47 games. This was his best season for the club. However, with the arrival of 2019-2020 season, something felt off and no one, including Paul Pogba and Manchester United, were ready for what was about to come. The 2019-2020 season, the year it all crashed down. Throughout the season, Pogba made just 22 appearances with 1 goal and 4 assists. और ये Pogba की आज तक की worst performance थी. But the question is, what exactly happened that Paul Pogba dipped so much? Well, except some discipline issues, there were 2 main reasons behind the same. First, that he fell out of favor with Jose Mourinho, who benched Pogba for a lot of games and preferred Scott McTominay over him. And as of the second, injuries. During the start of 2019-2020 season, Pogba was hit with a very bad injury that changed everything. As before that, he never had too many injuries. However, this time it was different. He got back-to-back terrible injuries and missed over 11 games that season. Then in 2021, he suffered from ankle and hamstring injury, due to which he missed over 14 games. So basically, during his last 3 years at Manchester United, Pogba suffered with 9 major injuries and missed over 90 games for both France and Manchester United. और इसीलिए जब 2022 में Pogba का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खत्म हुआ, Juventus were happy enough to take the gamble and signed him on a 4-year deal for free. He was welcomed by the club, by the fans, and even got the iconic number 10 shirt. However, since then you might have not heard a lot about him, because during 22-23 season, Pogba has suffered 7 different injuries and just played 162 minutes of football. And to top it off, Pogba was tested positive in a doping test during the opening fixture of this season. Although we are still waiting for the final reports, but if it is confirmed, then Paul Pogba might get banned for 4 years. And if that happened, it would be surely the end of Paul Pogba. It is a shame that it turned out like this. It is a shame that Paul Pogba had such a bad ending. However, it's not entirely his fault. I mean, yes, Pogba lacked motivation, but how could you expect someone to stay motivated when his own family is torturing him? And in my opinion, even if Paul Pogba gets banned or he decides to retire, he will still remembered as one of the best midfielder of this generation. Well guys, we tried something new this time. We hope you liked the video, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe the channel and do check out this video where we are talking about what exactly happened to Chelsea.